Yeah, hi everyone. So just last time we had discussed about the exact matches and all the properties of the exact matches, and we have seen the merge setting where we had discussed about these two properties, immutable Roy object and the distinct systems. So anyone has any questions regarding that? Okay, so today we'll be discussing about the fuzzy part. So we had discussed like this is the one we had done previously for the customer table where we have selected the match and search strategy as exact. So now like we will click on this drop down and select match and search strategy as fuzzy. So fuzzy has to be selected basically for all the business tables where we expect that there will be certain variations in the data, and to match those data we need the fuzzy logic to be implemented. And the advantage is that even if we select fuzzy, we will be able to select some columns as fuzzy and some columns as exact column, because for example like address line 1, address line 2, these will be our fuzzy columns, whereas like city, country, zip code, these we can use as exact column. So if you use select fuzzy, then we can use both a combination of fuzzy as well as exact columns. So once we select the match and search strategy as fuzzy, the next thing that we have to select is a fuzzy population. So fuzzy population, like if you check in your ORS, it will show like demo. Demo is the default population which is supplied, and they say that that's a subset of US population. And basically population has an inbuilt logic of how the keys will be generated and how the matching will happen. But that is just for some uncommon things. It's not like you might say that, for example, if I am selecting US population and I am from India and I have moved to US, so will my name match? Yes, it will match. So this is all the common name will usually match. That is, they say that we have to select this population for a specific country, because in that they have there are some uncommon names which are specific to that particular population, and that is required for matching. So common names, if I put, everything will match. So for example, like that's a KB article here that I have opened, which tells about the same part, what is the population. So it basically encapsulates the intelligence about the name, address, and other identifying information that is typical for a given population. So normally it matches, but there are some specific things which are existing in that particular population. So that is why, like, if we are dealing with the US population data, we should select the US population. And if the company is like dealing with any other population, we should select that particular population. So Informatica basically supplies the population file. Usually they supply, like by default they supply only one population file with MDM, but if the company is like dealing with multiple countries or populations, they need to request that I need multiple population files for the respective countries. So first we'll look into that scenario where a company is dealing with only one population. So population can be used only once we are using the match and search strategy as fuzzy, and it basically accounts for immutable variations and errors that are likely to exist in names, address, and other identified data for that particular population. And also it has like inbuilt logic of how the keys are generated, how to do the matching part. That's basically the fuzzy part, how the internally the logic is working. Those all logic has been put into this population file. So this population basically resides in one of the tables, and that is called as C repos SSA population. So let me like open the SQL developer. I show you the table where these populations will be there. So there are some default populations which will be present there, and there will be an enable indicator. So there we need to go manually and enable the flag and restart the server. So once we enable it and restart the server, we will see that in the drop down that specific country name is coming. So this is the table, population table, and in this like some here I have added some couple of them. Usually I think there is some 6 or 7 populations only which are listed here. So in this, this is the one demo. So demo will be by default. This will be present, and at the end, if you see, there will be an enable indicator. So that enable indicator will be one for demo. Like if you check in your ORS currently, you will see this that for demo it is enabled, and for others it is like 0. So for enabling, you need to come here and update this table as 1, or if you want to disable, you have to make it as 0. So now like demo can be used for normal testing purpose, and if you want to enable the US population, that also you can enable. So you can just make the demo as 0, and this is the US population on the top. So we can go and enable the US population. So that's the first one, which is the US population. We can go and update it as 1, and demo we can make it as 0. So now like here there will be some default countries which are listed, and suppose like we need to add some country with which the company is dealing that is not listed here. In that case, we will have to add that particular country name. So how to add a country name here is, for example, like I will just copy one row here. And I am inserting a new row and pasting it here. So I have just copied the Canada here. So now like the first column is row ID SSA pop. So row ID SSA population has to be a unique column, and this we can put some values which is not there, like we can put B here as B is not present here. So that will make this as a unique row ID object or row ID SSA population. And then we need to know the population name what we are passing. So for example, we are using like Great Britain here, so that the support team will tell like what is the exact population name we have to use. So for example, like Britain, we have to use GB. So here in the population name I will put GB here, and one more change is required, that is in this column population setting XML. In the population setting XML also, in the starting you can see population name equals to the name of the population is present here. So I need to edit this file also, or this column, and just replace like Canada with GB. So like this you can add multiple populations here which are not listed, because only 6 or 7 populations will be listed here. So if the company is not dealing with a particular population which is not listed, we can add an entry here manually. Just we need to know the name of population name, what is the name of the population. So that I will come and update it here. So this is one part, that your population should be present here, and the second is it should be enabled if you want to use it. If I want to use this GB population, I need to go at the end and enable it. Make the enable indicator as 1. After that, I need to put a population file. There is a population file which is supplied. I need to put that population file into a location, and that location is basically MDM installation folder. So for example, like this is a Windows system. So here we need to go to the MDM installation folder. So usually, like MDM, wherever it will be installed, it will start with like info MDM. That's the default convention. And under info MDM, we will have hub. Then we have these three things: server, cleanse, and the resource kit. So we have to go to the cleanse, and then the resources. There we will have a match folder. So under match, we need to copy our population file. So this demo.ysp will be there by default. So we need to copy our population file. Like if you are using GB, we should use like gb.ysp. So all the population file have a YSP extension. So we need to copy our
files or installation license based or free? They're all free.
No, only one is free. Like whenever like company purchases this, so with the demo they supply only one population file. So if company is dealing with US population, he can request like I am dealing with only US, so they will supply the population file. If they are dealing with multiple populations, they need to purchase it separately.
Okay.
But there is no license as such. They just need to tell that I am dealing with these many countries, so I need population file of those many countries. So just they will get it from the support. They have to put it here. Plus they need to go to the table level and enable it.
Okay.
So this has to be mandatory, because probably like if you forget to put at this location and you go and run the match process, it will throw an error that the population file is not present at this particular location. So it specifically shows that it is not present at this location. So this is one thing that we discussed, that about the population file, that if the company is dealing with only one population, for example like US population, in that case I will go to my C repos SSA population, I will enable the US population, and also I will copy the USA.ysp file in that particular location. So these are the two things I have to do, and in case US population is not present, then I will have to insert one more record into the C repos SSA population. So these are the three things we have to do. And now the second scenario, this is clear to everyone, or any questions in this? Then we'll go to the second scenario where we will discuss like what will happen if the company is dealing with multiple populations. Okay, so if the company is dealing with multiple populations, so here you can see it's just a drop down where it is showing US and demo. So similarly, like if the company is dealing with multiple populations, for example like US, Canada, India, and GB, 4-5 countries it is dealing with. In that case, it needs the population file for all the countries. So they have to request like Informatica, they need to purchase it basically specifically, and once they get it from the into that particular location, this location match location where all the YSP file will be present, and then they need to go to the table level and enable all of them. So all the populations file has to be enabled. Once it is enabled, it will reflect in the drop down. All the populations will come. KB article which tells us basically what will happen when we are dealing with multiple populations. So once we are dealing with multiple population, what we have to do is we need to create this column as SIP underscore pop. So that's the name of the column that they have specifically told that it should be the same name, and this has to be a varchar column. So I need to create this SIP pop column in my landing table, in my base object, as well as it should be present in my staging table. In all three tables, this SIP pop column has to be present, and it has to be a varchar column. The size we can give on our own depending on the length of the population name. So now, like, when we are getting the data, we know that we are getting customer data from like US. So in this SIP column, like when the ETL team loads the data, we'll say that if you are loading the data, customer data from US, you will have to put US here in this column. If you are loading from India, you have to put IND there. And similarly for other countries. So this SIP pop column is just a normal column which will get loaded in your staging table and then in your base object table. So there is no check for this, like what value you are passing is correct or not correct. We know like whatever name we have given in the population repos SSC population, the same name we have to pass it here also. So once this is done, means the column is created in the landing table, it is populated with like US, IND respectively, and I need to load it into the staging table and in the base object. Now once that is done, again we have to go and create the match columns. So we have created a match column, exact match column. So we know that we have to come here to the match column, click on this add button and select that particular column. So in the left hand side, we will see that SIP pop column will be there. I will select this column and I will give this name, like as of now we don't have SIP, so I'm just putting here any different column. So for example SIP pop, and this is my SIP pop column, so I will select it and create an exact match column. After creating an exact match column, I will go to my match rules set, and in my match rule set, whatever match rules I am creating, if I am creating for example 2 rules, in all the rules I need to have this SIP pop column. That is a mandatory thing. So if I am creating 2 rules here, suppose like the first rule is based on first name last name and the second is based on name generation, I need to have in both the rules I need to have this column as SIP pop. So while matching the data, because this is an exact column, so MDM while matching the data it will do a filtering. So in SIP column, if we have data as IND and USA, it will filter the data IND and USA separately, and in the column, like if it is mentioned as US, it will apply the US population file. If it is IND, it will apply the IND population file. So this is how it deals with multiple populations. If it is a single population, then we don't have to bother about it. But if we are dealing with multiple populations, in this case we need to create this SIP pop column and load the data into your base object. Then create an exact match column, and whatever rules you have created, in all the rules you need to add this as an exact column SIP pop, so that while matching the data based on the column value, it knows that if it is US, it has to apply the US population. If it is India, it has to apply the Indian population file. Now properties we have to select here. So here in the fuzzy population, like sorry, so in this case, if I go here to the fuzzy population, I am seeing like US demo. Similarly, I will see other countries also, IND, GB. So which country I should select? In this case, it doesn't matter. You can select any one of them, because now I am using SIP pop column basically to match the data based on population. So here I can select anything, US, IND, demo, or any value you can select, it will not matter. So that is basically how the population file has to be set up, and copying it at a particular location and enabling that into the CRepos SSA population. And probably this should be clear, like here why 2 is coming, US and demo both are coming. US and demo both are coming because I have enabled it for both of them. In my CRepos SSA population, I have enabled US as well as demo. That is the reason why both are coming. So that's the population file selection. Once we have selected the fuzzy, we have to select a population file. Next, we look into a path component. So path component is required because this map is called as a match path. And basically the definition of a match path is like match path is used to traverse the hierarchy between the base object. So that's the general definition of match path, that it is used to traverse the hierarchy between the base objects. So the main purpose of using a match path is I want to use columns from other tables for matching purpose. So why we need column from other table for matching purpose? I am in the customer table. In the customer table, I have only 3 columns like first name, middle name, last name. So just I cannot match based on the customer column because there are a lot of customers with the same first name, middle name, last name. So in this case, I need columns from other tables as well, like the address table. So customer's name might not be same. Customer's name might be same, but their addresses might be different. So using that, we will be able to identify accurate matches. So for example, like so if you see this PPT here, where I have on the top I have customer and on the down I have address. So customer, on the customer column we are using fuzzy, so even if there are some differences in the data, it might match them all of the 3 as a duplicate record. But if we are matching based on name and the address column, in this case only for 250, 200 and 300, this 300, the address is matching. So for 250, the address is completely different. So in this case, it will not match this record. It will match only the 200 and 300. So here the address is like exactly same. There might be differences in the address also a little bit, but that will be taken care about with the fuzzy logic. So that is the main reason why we have to use a match path. So now I will be taking some columns from customer table, some columns from address table, some columns from other table. Like if you have a gender column, we will take, because different genders might also have the same names. So we will take some gender column. Then probably business might say that I have different types of addresses, like billing address is there, shipping address is there. So I just want to match billing with billing and shipping with shipping. I don't want to club the data together. So in that case, we might match it separately, billing addresses separately, shipping address separately. Or if they don't have something, we will match all the address. So that will be decided like when we say to the business, like what are the columns we can take to identify that these are the duplicate records, and which columns I need to take as a fuzzy, which column I have to take an exact column, and how many rules I need to create like this. So basically, how do we create a match path? So for creating a match path, first of all, what we have to do, we need to go to the schema viewer and we should know like what is the model we have exact currently. So I am in the customer table here. So from the customer table, I can create a match path directly for only 3 tables. I can create a match path for subcategory, I can create a match path for customer, and I can create a match path for address. So 3 tables I can create directly match path. So when we go to the match path and we will click on add, it will show me these 3 tables: customer, note, address, and the subcategory. These 3 tables will be shown to us. But now if you want to use like some column from address type or some columns from the category table, they are not directly linked to the customer directly. So how I have to traverse is, I have to, from customer, I need to create a match path for subcategory, and under subcategory I have to create a match path for category. So we need to traverse like this. So I can go to any base object if there is it is related in anyhow. So see here on the right hand side you have an address 2, you have a customer 2. These are not related to customer. But if somehow they were related in any sense, then I can traverse to these also, base object. Some relationship should be there. If I am in the category base object and I have to use address type, I can go here also, because they are related. So from category I can create subcategory, then customer, then address type, and then finally to the address, this one. So if there is a relationship, I can go to any base object, but I cannot go to customer 2 and address 2 because they are completely different here. So now, like if you go to the schemas and click on the match path, so whenever we come here, it will show like root for the base object name. And now if you click on this add button, it will show me 3 tables. You can see address it is showing, customer note, and the subcategory. 3 base objects it is displaying here. So suppose like I want address here, so we can put like name here, and the physical name will get created based on the display name. We can modify the display name if it is required, and just select the base object name and click on OK. So this is a match path which is created for the customer. So customer and address both are there. Now if I click on the set button, I will get the relationship table. So here like multiple times it is related, so it is showing like 2 records. So here you can select like I want to go through this. So we can give again a display name here that I am going with the relationship table. Purnima is asking whether the display name can be anything or it should be the table name. No, display name can be anything. Whatever display name you want, you can give that display name here. And now if you click on this add button, I will get address type. So like this I can create a match path for any table. Similarly, like I have under the customer I have configured address, then after address I have address type. This is my many to many relationship table, and then under this I have address type. Similarly, I can click on the customer and even I can configure the subcategory and the category table. So here I am getting an option for subcategory. I will select the subcategory and give like subcategory. And under the category, if I click on this, now this is subcategory is created. Now if I click on this and then click on the add button, I will get an option for category. So like this I can create a match path for any table. So we don't have to create for all the tables basically, but yes, it is required if you want to use columns from any one of them. So suppose you can say that I want to use only column from category table, not subcategory. That's correct, but you cannot configure a match path for category directly. You have to configure the subcategory, then only you can configure the category. So like this, we know like we are going to create a match rule. So we know that what are the columns I am going to use in the match rules. So based on the model that we have, we know that okay, I have to use a category table, means column from a category table for matching. Then I need to create a match path for subcategory, and then under the subcategory I can create a match path for category. So like this, we will be creating the match path for all the tables so that we can use the column from these tables for matching purpose. So now like the match path is created. Now if you go to the match columns, here you will see some other options are coming now. Previously we were getting only couple of columns here. We were getting only the match columns. But now there is an extra thing here on the top, fuzzy match key. So that we'll discuss. First, like we'll see, like these are the columns we had added here previously, 4 columns. So now like I need to add a fuzzy column. So you can add now fuzzy column or an exact column. So first we'll again add an exact column here. So again I clicked on the first add button, which is for exact matching column, and the second is for the fuzzy columns. So again it is showing me the columns from the customer table. So now like I want some columns from other table as well. I need some column from address table. So how do you get it is you need to click on this edit button. So if you click on this edit button, you will see all the match path component that you have created just now. So suppose like I want some column from address. So I will select this address match path component and click on OK. So here you can see all the columns are coming from address table. So for example, like I need a city column to be exact column. So I'll just give the field name here ex_city and select the city here. So like this I can select for any base object. So here you can, once this is created, you can see here the field name is like ex_city, means we know that this is an exact column that we are using, and the source table name is address. Similarly, I can add for any other table as well, like category table or the subcategory table. Whatever we have configured, we can select from them. Like for the category table, we can come and select, for example, category number. So this is added here, category number, and we can see the source table name is category here. So it will tell you what is the, whether it is a fuzzy or it is an exact column, and what is the path component. Where if it is root, means we know that I am in the customer table, so match path is component is root, and if it is any other thing, means we have created a match path for it. Similarly, if you want to add some fuzzy columns, we will fuzzy, it is little bit different here. So the second option is basically to add a fuzzy column. So here it doesn't allow, gives you an option to enter the field name. It has by default some field names are available. So it's starting with like person name, address part 1, address part 2, postal area, telephone number. So all these input default things are available here. So we can select from any one of them, but if you say that whatever column I am going to add here doesn't falls under any one of the category, person name or address part 1, in this case we have these two options which are given as attribute 1 and attribute 2. So we can select attribute 1 and attribute 2 and we can add the columns. So like suppose like I want to add address columns, so I will select like address part 1 and click on this root match path component, select address and select like address line 1 as a fuzzy column. So here address is added as a fuzzy column and it shows like column type as fuzzy and the source table is address. So like this we will be adding our columns, fuzzy columns as well as exact columns. Now on the top if we go, we have some components here. First is the key type. In the key type we have only 3 options here and we have to select this key width, key type. We cannot leave it as none. So key type is like person name, organization name or the address part 1, only 3 options are there. So this is basically based on the main data that we are trying to match, identifying information that we are trying to match. So if we are dealing with person data, we can select like person name. If we are dealing with organization data, we can select organization. If it is like address, we can select address. But like you can say that I want to implement fuzzy in category table or subcategory table as well. So which one I have to select here? When I am in the category table, subcategory table, in that case, see, category and subcategory is not appearing here, but category and subcategory belongs to a person data indirectly. Directly we don't have category and subcategory, but indirectly a category belongs to a particular person because we are maintaining person data here. So in that case we will be selecting person. If you say that category and other things belongs to I am maintaining organization data, in that case we will be selecting organization here. Similarly, if you have like product, if you have product, there will be an organization as well. The product will be related to a particular organization. So somehow it has to be related because these are the main identifying things which the MDM deals with, either the person data or the organization data and the address. It is mainly focused on these 3 things. So we have to select this key type. Like I am selecting here key type as person name, and under the person name, now on the down I have to come and select some column. Like I can select first name and the last name, these 2 columns. That under this fuzzy person name I will have 2 columns, first name and the last name. So based on this the matching should happen. So let me go to the PPT again here. So this is again description about the key types. There are 3 key types are available to us: organization name, person name and the address part 1 that we just discussed. So we have to select that based on the identifying data that we are trying to master. Like as of now we have a customer model and we are loading customer data. So we can select person name here. So any one of them has to be selected, either organization or person or an address. So once this is selected, the next is key width. So that is a property basically using which MDM generates the tokens. So that's a new concept which has come up. So when we tested the exact match, in that after the load process, we went and directly ran the match process. But now when we are using fuzzy, in that case, one more step is added, and that is called as the generate match tokens. So match tokens are basically a hexadecimal number, and that's basically generated based on the internal logic, and MDM uses them for matching purpose. So once it is generated, it is put in a table which is called as a strp table or strip table, which is again associated with a base object. Once it is generated, it always uses that strp table for matching the data. So we'll see that scenario. First, we'll just discuss here like what are the key widths which are available. So key width is like these four options are there: extended, limited, standard, and preferred. So by default, it is a standard. Key width is standard so that it generates limited number of tokens which should be sufficient for matching the data. So in the real time, either we will have standard or we will have extended. Extended basically generate more number of keys. So the more the number of keys, the more it's just like a probability, we can say. The more the number of keys, the more are the probability that the record will get matched. But only thing is that because more number of tokens are generated, so it will occupy a lot of disk space. Limited basically will generate fewer number of keys. So this is usually not sufficient for matching the data, so we don't use this limited. And similarly preferred. Preferred is also not selected because preferred generates only one key per record. So for one record or one row, it will generate only one key. So this is also not used for matching purpose. So we use like standard and extended, either of them. So standard will generate limited number of tokens and extended generates lot of tokens. So depending on the data that we have, we will basically try to select any one of them. So we'll see those scenarios like when we have to go for standard, when we have to go for extended. Just a simple example here of the tokens. So in this example, like I am using like key type as, we can say person name here because we are maintaining person data. Key type as person name and key width is standard. So I am using a key width as a standard here. Match path component is customer, means I am just using column from the customer table only. And the column that I am using is full name. So as of now, the match is only based on one column, that is full name. So these are the 5 records here. So for these 5 records, when I run the generate match token, these are the match keys which are generated. So these match keys, once it is generated, it will be put into the strp table. Like if you have a base object c underscore customer, it will be c underscore customer underscore strp. That is called as a strip table. So MDM will populate all these data. So based on a row ID object it puts. So row ID object will have like 4 match keys. Similarly, like row ID object 2 is having 4 match keys. 3 is having only 2 match keys. 4 is having 3 keys. So that is not fixed value. We cannot say like I have selected key width as standard. Means it will generate for every record, it will generate like 4 keys. So that we cannot say because that's an internal logic. For one record, you might see it is generating only 1. For other record, it might generate 4 or 5. Because that is based on the data. What type of data is coming. So once these keys are generated, next time when you go and run the match process, see the keys are generated after the load process. The next batch job that we have to run is generate match tokens, which will generate these keys and put them into the strp table. After that, once we go and run the match process, MDM doesn't goes to the base object for matching the data. It will come to this strp table, and here it will try to find like which are the records for which the match key is matching or the tokens are matching. So in this slide, this is like it has been put similar here, that it is exactly similar, that yellow one, for example, it is matching for the first record and the third record, fourth and the fifth record. So for all these records it is matching. Similarly, like this PCO, which is the blue color, it is matching for the third, fourth and fifth record. So as of now, like in this, it is given exactly similar, that it is exactly similar, then only it will be matched. But it is exactly not like that. Even if there are some scenarios where even if there are differences in the tokens, that is also considered as a match. So that we'll see next, but here as of now, just for understanding purpose, that once the tokens are generated, MDM will come to this match table. It will see which records have similar tokens. So whichever record is having similar token, it will put them into a match table. Like for example, in this scenario, 1 is matching with 3, 1 is matching with 4, 1 is matching with 5. So we'll see 3 records in my system. And here also we can get, based on this value, I can have like 3 matching with 4 and 3 matching with 5. So these are based on these two properties that we set up, the key type and the key width. Key type has to be based on the main identifying data that we are trying to master, and the key width basically controls how many number of tokens has to be generated for each and every record. So 4 options are there, but usually in the real time either standard is used or extended. So these are the 2 settings that we have to do here in the match columns. Next we will go to the match rule sets. In the match rule set, now we have an extra column is coming here. This part, search level. So search level is, again we have couple of options here: narrow, typical, exhaustive and extreme. So this basically tells, search level basically controls like which record should be picked up for matching. This is controlled by the search level. So see, if once the token is generated, just suppose like we have 20 million records in our base object, customer base object, and for every record on an average it has generated like 2 tokens. So we will have 40 million record into my strp table. Now today I am loading a single record. So that single record which I am loading today will not go and match that for single record also. Suppose it is generated 2 tokens. So these 2 tokens will not be compared against all the existing 40 million tokens which are there into your strp table. So this property is controlled by this search level. So it will select like whichever is the best data using which it can match it. So one minute, let me open the PPT so that you can understand better. So this is an example here for the search level. I have just put some numbers here. This is not an exact number, just to identify, just tell you that how many tokens it will take. So basically, based on this search level, whether it is these 4 options are there: narrow, typical, exhaustive and extreme. So based on whatever value you have selected, it builds a start key and the end key. So we don't have to understand this. You don't have to understand what is the token, what is the value, and so this understanding is not required. You don't have to understand what is the value here. So between the start key and the end key that it builds, we don't know how many keys might be there. There might be a single key, or there might be 100 or 1000 of keys within this range. So based on like whatever search level we have given, MDM will pick up some like start keys and the end keys. So for example, like for typical, it has selected 14 start keys and the end keys. So whatever new records I am loading, it will try to match within these keys itself. Similarly, like if you take exhaustive, it will take like 26 start and end keys, and it will try to match. Similarly, extreme, it will take more. So now again, like how can we go with this? That whether we have to select narrow, typical, exhaustive, or extreme options. So this basically initially, like whenever we also do, we will go with the typical setting. So because we know before I go and run the match process, I know that these records will get matched. So these are 5 records, and these records should match because these are duplicate records. Once I run the match process, means I will run the generate match tokens, and then I will go and run the match process. After running the match process, we will see that, for example, these 5 records were there. If you go the back one example that we had seen, so in this example, we had seen that only the first, third, fourth, and fifth record is getting matched. The second record is not getting matched. But we know that second record is also a duplicate record, and it should get matched. But now here it is not matching at all. So in this case, what we'll do is first we'll go and come and check the basically the tokens here, the match keys. In this case, we'll just come and check the tokens, like whether there is any token which is little bit matching. So for example, here it is not matching at all. It is like completely different. So we know that, okay, these tokens are completely different. It is not generated at all. In this case, even if you change the search level to extreme, extended, anyone, we know that I am not going to get a match for this record, because this is completely different. Or if we say that I will just make a change here, for example, like I have a PCO here. Now here we have a PCO is there, and here I have a PCO G is there with $. So this token looks nearly similar. So in this case, basically we can go, if we have selected as standard, we can say that, okay, I want to go for extended and extreme method. In that case, we will select extended, run the match process again, and see whether it is getting selected or not. Next, I will go for extreme, and again I will run the match process and see whether it is getting matched or not. So if it gets matched, it's good, because as I told that here, this is just for representational purpose, that if it is exactly same, then only it is considered as a match. But even if there are some differences in the data, that will be a match. Yes, there is some disturbance outside. So in this case, we will say that which setting we have to do. And suppose like you say that I have made all the changes. I have made the search level to extreme. I have made the search level to extended. Everything I have done, but still this record is not getting matched. In that case, we will go for the other option. That is, we will go to the match columns, and we will say that I want to select key width as, instead of standard, I want extended. Because we know that if you select a standard, it will generate more number of tokens, and the probability is that the record should or might get matched correctly. So it might generate some tokens which might be a similar one. So it's not like required that it should be exactly similar. Like for example, here I have, for the fourth record we have like this MMU dollar is there. So it is a possibility that in this one I have some value like MMUW. This time it gets generated as similar thing. So for example, MMUW dollar, then something value is there. So something is matching, it might get generated. So this value and this value might be a match. So based on it, it will show that the second record is matching with the fourth record. So it's not required that common value should match, like VL or PCU that we have, that only should match. Any one of them can be a match. So this is how we will decide like which one we have to select. So initially we'll go with the default settings. For the match columns, we'll go as key width as standard. And similarly, when we go to the search level, we will have search level as typical. So typical will form the start keys. It will take like limited number of start keys and the end keys, and based on that it will try to match the data. So first we'll try based on this only. We'll make, if it is not matching from typical, we will make it as exhaustive, and then we'll make it as extreme. And if that is also not matching, then we will have to go to our match columns and select like this option where key width has to be extended. So this is like the three things we have to select: key type, key width, and the search level. Then there are a couple of more things that we have to select. That is basically if you go to any match rule. So we'll add a new match rule here. So once we click on add, previously it was giving me only option as exact. Now it is giving me an option of fuzzy also. So we need to select fuzzy. Then now if you click on this edit button, it will show you both the columns, fuzzy columns as well as exact columns. So suppose like I want to match based on person name and like customer class as an exact column and city as exact column. So here I have selected the columns. Once I select the column, now we have to select these options. So in the exact, we don't have these options, selecting this option. Only in the fuzzy, we have these options. So first is the match purpose. So again, we need to specify like what is the purpose of our match. So again here, these all basically are related to the matching, how the matching process will work. Building generation of the token is basically controlled by that part, key width, but searching the data, like as I told, like token might not be exactly same, there might be differences in the data. So that difference is controlled by this property, match. Because search level will just take like how many records, what is the start token and the end token. So whatever tokens are between the start and the end, it will try to match the data within that. But now to have some differences in the tokens I know that it doesn't has to be exactly the same. Even if there are differences in the token, that might be considered as a match. So these properties is controlled by these two, match purpose and the match level. So here like I have selected person name. So if you see, there are again a list of options that are available. So if you want like more detail about them, you can just look into the configuration guide, that when you have to select each one of them. So for example, if I select address and click on OK, it will give me an error message that if you want match column or if you want match purpose to be address, you should have an address like part 1 column here in your match column. But because I don't have this address part 1 column, it is throwing this error message. Similarly, if you select any other also, you will get this option. If you select resident, you will get like you should have a person name and address. So depending on the columns that you have, if you have person name only or if you have person and address both, you have to select the appropriate match purpose. So here like we cannot know like what is the have to be selected. So if you click on any one of them, it will tell you like what are the columns has to be selected, or a description is given also in the configuration guide. Like if you have to select residence, what does it means? So here like one more option, like if you say that whatever columns I have selected, usually it falls under these categories, but in case you say that it is not falling under any one of the category, you can select fields. Fields means it is not falling under any one of the category. I don't have any column as person, address, or all these things, organization. In this case, we can go for fields. But I have like person name selected here, so in this case, I can go and select person. Here I have the person name. So after we select the match purpose, we have the match level. So these two basically controls, as I told, like how much differences can be there in your tokens. That is controlled by these two settings. So typical is like small differences in the tokens will be considered as a match record. Conservative is like very less number of differences, and loose means lot of differences in the tokens might also be considered as a match. Usually we in the real time, if you say, we all usually select typical only, which is the default. Loose is basically rarely it will be selected, because there might be possibility that if you select loose, those records are also getting matched, which should not be a match at all. So two different customers are getting matched whose names are not at all similar. So that possibility we might see if we select match label as loose. So that is why we in the real time this option usually never doesn't changes. It is mostly fixed as typical. So we just change the search level and the key width. Two options we generally change. This match level doesn't changes. It is usually typical. But here, like as I told, like typical will means it little bit differences in the tokens will be considered as a match, or if you select conservative, then little bit more difference means less differences will be considered. So here we don't control it. The controlling power is not there, means how much less or how much more. We cannot say, means if I am selecting typical, suppose like if 80% of the token is matching, it will be considered as a match. If you select conservative, then 90% of the token, if it is matching, it will be considered as a match. So that control we don't have. Well, that typical is 80%, conservative is like 90, and loose is like 50%. If 50% of them is matching, it is considered as a match. So that control we don't have here in this level. That control you can have here in the accept adjustment limit. So accept adjustment limit also we can have two options here. So for example, if we give -10, so -10 is like +10. There is just like a reverse they have given. -10 is basically a loose matching. You are saying that it's a loose. So -10 is basically says that 110. And if you just give like 10, it is like a conservative matching. So here we are seeing 10 means it is like 90. So basically do a tight matching. So here we can say what is tight and what is loose based on these numbers. So we can say that if 90% of the data is matching, then you can consider that as a match. But if we give minus 10, it is like 110. We are saying means go for those options. Even if the data is not matching, consider them as a match. So the more variations will be taken while matching the data. So these are like 5 to 6 options which we have to select for the fuzzy. There are a couple more also that we'll look into tomorrow. So just go through it once again. We will be discussing it tomorrow. We'll go through it again. And there are some other options also which we'll discuss, and then we'll test the load. We'll load some data and test basically all these scenarios. Any questions anyone has?
Hi Vinay, this is Suresh.
Yes, yes, still.
In match columns tab, if we select person name once, we cannot select one more time the same person name in fuzzy match.
No, no. Here like key type is there. So key type is like person name. So person name like is already added here as a column. So
Okay.
other than now, if you click on this fuzzy, here it gives you that option. Like person name is already there. So if you try to add person name again, it will throw an error. That person name is already there.
Okay, so at a time only once.
Yeah,
person.
only once we can select this fuzzy column.
Okay, if we want to select one more column as a person name, so it will not allow, right?
No, no, it will not allow. So if you want to, you have to add like, in this case, that's why I added here both the column first name and the last name. So I cannot say that person name. In that I will select only first name. I will create one more person name and there I will add last name. So that we cannot do. I can just create only one person name, and in that only like whatever columns I have to add, I need to add that.
Okay. And also in column type, it is showing fuzzy for first column and last column fuzzy match key. What is the difference between these two?
It is like key we have selected. On the top we have a key type as person name. So that is why for that this is just a fuzzy. It just represents that I have selected this column as a match key type. Otherwise there is no difference between them.
Okay.
It is fuzzy only, but it just tells that this fuzzy you have selected as a key, because that is basically part of the token generation. So this do properties key type and the key width has an impact of token generation, the tokens which are generated. So it just tells you that this is a part of key type.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so just go through it once again. This is a little bit in the initial it will be difficult to understand all these. So if you get time, just go through a document also, and we'll discuss it tomorrow again, and we'll test by loading the data also as well. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Vinay. Bye.
Bye.